Welcome back. And yes, it's just me again today. So before we get into the games that are going to be played this weekend, we'll take a quick look back at what happened last weekend. We had 11 games because there were 6 games that were scheduled for the weekend, 5 midweeks as well. To start off the weekend fixtures, we had Bournemouth doing a job, beating Middlesbrough 4-0, as expected. Well, maybe not to that extent, but definitely the win. Hull City and Swansea also getting over the line, 2-0 wins respectively against Watford and Stoke. So it was all looking good until Everton couldn't quite get the job done over West Ham. They held them down to a 0-0 draw before Manchester United went over to Burnley and took them 2-0. So that went badly as well. Burnley not quite as good as their earlier season form. The biggest shock of all, although part of us was expecting it to happen, Crystal Palace beating Liverpool away from home. Liverpool just shooting themselves in the foot, as they've done so many times this season. The midweeks were a bit speculative, but Chelsea made no mistake, smashing Southampton 4-2. The other games were a bit of a, they were tight. Arsenal got over the line against Leicester. Middlesbrough did the job against Sunderland, and we picked these ones, but they really could have gone either way. The teams are sort of in the balance. And of course, Tottenham keeping the title race alive, beating Crystal Palace away 1-0. Very gritty and important result for them. The title race obviously in the balance, and this week is a very key week, 2 very big games. Since Cos isn't around and time is a bit tight, no topic today. We'll just get straight into the previews now for this week. We've got obviously a full schedule ahead of us, 10 games. The first one is Crystal Palace against Burnley. Once again, the descriptions are all on Facebook. The link is in the description below if you want to see the more detail. But Crystal Palace got them to take this one against Burnley. Then expecting Sunderland and Bournemouth to play out a draw. And look, it could go a few ways, but once again, description's got all the details there if you want to have a look. West Brom taking on Leicester in another game that could go many ways. Not necessarily expecting West Brom winning to be one of them, but eventually put that one down for a draw. Now the next 2 games are more or less shoo-ins. We've got Southampton taking on Hull. They're at home, better team. They should get the points here. And then, of course, Manchester City travelling to Middlesbrough. Look, it's just, we've just said it time and time again. Middlesbrough showing they're more or less playing like a championship club, and Manchester City take those clubs to the cleaners. So Manchester City shouldn't have any problems there. A bit more tricky with Stoke hosting West Ham. West Ham being a little bit unpredictable. Not sure how much they're going to show up, but odds are they're not going to be strong enough to beat Stoke. They might hold them off for a draw, but it's much more likely that Stoke's going to take the points there. Bigger game though, Watford hosting Liverpool. Now that's a very big question mark over Liverpool. You wonder what they're going to do, but in the end went with Watford essentially being too similar to Stoke and West Brom, and Liverpool just switch on to take this one because, we don't like saying that just because the team needs to win or just because of, riding off the other opposition, but really it's that simple in this one, and Liverpool's good enough to win it, and they just need to be able to do it. The last shoe-in kind of, we've got Manchester United taking on Swansea. Look, no 2 ways about it. Swansea will concede, and Manchester United don't do that very often, and look, it's too important for them. They'll take the points here, but more importantly, the top 2 games we've got. Title race deciders here, really. We've got Everton taking on Chelsea, which we said in our early video is going to be really the key fixture here to see if we've still got a title race going on. Everton, so strong at home. Since they lost to Liverpool, they've beaten every team that's come there, and usually by a fair bit, and their defense has been solid. Their attack has been on point, just getting through everyone. And Chelsea, it's all in the description as well, but expecting this one to be a real big hurdle for Chelsea, and expecting Everton although they could drop this one, because Everton lack a bit of consistency, we're going to back Everton for this one, to bring that title race a little bit closer. And of course, the number one game, North London derby. We called this a few weeks back, and our decision hasn't changed. Arsenal, no good. Tottenham, too good. And even though Tottenham have had a bit of trouble sometimes in these really crucial matches, at home, they put the teams away, and they should really take this home and hopefully bring the title race a bit closer. Last week, by the way, 23 cents up, courtesy of the Manchester derby draw. Still keeping our head above water here. In a very speculative time. This is the toughest time to call games, but hope you've been enjoying it so far. Not going to have a video next week. I will be on a plane, so going to Europe, so not really much time to do things then. I'll chuck on one of those apology videos for anyone who misses out, but I'm still going to be doing the match reviews, or previews rather, on our Facebook page. Description has the link below. It's just going to be me for now to the end of the season, probably. Might be able to get Cos in there as well, but no promises there. But thanks again for watching, and hopefully we do well this week again. Won't see you next week, but in a couple of weeks. Looking forward to the top 4 and relegation battles to come, and the potential title race to come as well. And I'll see you next time.